Hey everyone, so I know it might sound strange to hear this, but I'm 26 and I have never been in full-time employment before, and I'm currently jobless. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you my story over the past few years on how this has affected my life and what I'm currently doing to improve it. As with everything you do in life, you end up learning a lot in the process, but unfortunately that does come with a lot of regret sometimes. Being jobless is not easy, especially if you don't have much money to spend on the things that you really want. It has a massive mental impact on you and your overall confidence. Take a look at this phone as an example. It's the iPhone 10 and I've had this since 2019, and I really do want a new one, but I don't have the funds for it, and this just reminds me of how much I need to do until I can get back on my feet and really start earning things for myself. Surprisingly though, it's also not as bad as some of you may think, especially if you know how to use your time properly and make a few mindset shifts. Those mindset hacks are always a nifty thing to have. So later in this video, I will share with you some of the things that I have been doing to keep myself busy and learn new skills. To give you a better understanding of where I'm coming from, let me briefly share my background with you. So I graduated from City University of London in 2022 with a degree in biomedical engineering. And during this time, I was super focused on graduating with a good grade, seeing as I had just left pharmacy prior to this, so I was motivated to do better. Unfortunately, COVID happened, which was unexpected for everyone, and this screwed up a lot for me personally, so half of my degree went to being online. At that point, I really just had enough and just wanted to get the degree done no matter what the grade was. Now, although COVID provided a lot of new opportunities, I did nothing to really take advantage of any of them. I only really found out about some of them afterwards, but by then I considered it too late to even take action, so I didn't do anything. Prior to this, I was just a normal student who went through the traditional education system, trying to get a normal paying job and not really having a clear pathway of what I wanted to do with my life. Throughout my time in school, I didn't bother doing any internships, any voluntary work, or any extracurricular activities. I was very lazy and introverted. Plus, I didn't realize at the time the effect that this would have on my future. Getting a job while studying was totally out of the question. It wasn't something that my family really approved of at the time, and it was all about getting the best grades with minimal distractions. Actually, I did try to apply to McDonald's while I was studying during university like 3 times, maybe 2 while I was studying, but once after. But embarrassing to say, I got rejected. I did do some work experience in a few different places, but that was unpaid and it was part of the school curriculum, and not to mention quite boring. So basically, my whole school life passed without me really doing much at all, and only right at the very end I learnt the proper way to do things. And sad to say, I didn't really end up getting the best of grades, and I know I could have done a lot better. If there are any of you who are still in school or university, then I would urge you to make the most of it and pick up on anything you can, because if nothing else, this gives you a really good opportunity to learn more about yourself. Get out of your comfort zone, experience new things, meet new people, and this way your mind will open up naturally as well. Okay, moving on to how being unemployed has affected me. Now, you may think that because I'm jobless, it means that I have all the time in the world to do the things that I want and have the freedom to do them whenever I want, but that's not necessarily the case. I feel like the longer I'm not in a full-time job, the more the pressure of moving on in life builds up, and I feel like at this rate I'm really gonna mess up my future. I'm badly falling behind, and regrettably, if it weren't for the mistakes I had made early on, then by like 21, 22, I probably would have had a job and a few years worth of money saved in my bank. And that's the part that really hurts. I can only imagine now the stuff that I could have done with that money. I wasn't much of an action taker, and I was really the type of person to let life happen, and I guess it's shown its results. I've also seen some examples of other people by 26, even younger, some of them, that have achieved success, and some have even gone on to become millionaires. And I can't help but compare my circumstances with theirs sometimes, seeing as they're so close to age with me, and I guess social media is to blame for that. But I have learned in recent years that I can't compare myself to others because everyone's circumstances are different and everyone makes their own decisions. And this will only just lead to me in the long run just devaluing the things that I already have been gifted with. I may be jobless, but that doesn't mean that I don't love the life I have. Yeah, there are definitely challenges and there will be many more, but I have a very supportive family who have given me everything that I could ask for. So all my job now is to really make the most of the resources I have, propel my life forward as much as I can, and more importantly, at the very least, just prove to myself that I can actually achieve something. To be honest though, things have been quite tough mentally as well. I would have frequent days where I just don't want to do anything at all. My motivation would literally just be at level 0. And I would be sitting at my desk just thinking about so many different things, my past, my future, just the dreams I really want to achieve. And I literally feel like a failure sometimes and just want to give up on everything. I don't go out much and I'm not really a sociable person. It can be hard to keep these feelings inwards rather than expressing them to anyone else that is not in my family. I have constant mood fluctuations which never really used to be there before, but they do affect my days and sometimes quite badly. I'm not taking any medication for this though because I don't think it's necessary, but even sometimes the smallest of things can be so annoying to me, and I can only say that my current situation has a lot to do with this. And when things mess up or don't go the way that I expect them to, which sadly seems to be most things in my life at the moment, then I would get these thoughts that remind me of my past failures, and they make me feel that some things are just not meant for me. But I don't want to think like this. I know I can achieve so much more if I just put the work in. I'm 26 and have so many years left, and I have so much time to turn things around, which actually leads me into how I'm spending my time to make use of my situation. So after graduating, I realized for the first time in my life where I wanted to take my career, which was a really nice moment, and that is tech. It was all thanks to my final year project, which I ended up getting a pretty good grade for. So over the past 2 years, I've been doing many different online courses and keeping up with knowledge that employers are looking for. Getting a tech job in London is quite difficult and a very competitive field, so you actually need to be quite knowledgeable to have a chance at even getting an interview. So far I've had 5 tech interviews and have failed all of them, but they taught me what I need to work more on, which are actually projects. And these are actually such a great way to learn concepts and really put your knowledge to the test. And if I feel that there is something lacking, then I'll just go and search online or just use ChatGPT. It's pretty good stuff to put on my resume, and it makes it more appealing to potential employers. While working on projects, I am doing weekly job applications, and any interviews at this stage will just give me more experience in selling myself. You can never really have too much practice with that. My main sources of doing applications are places like LinkedIn, Indeed, Reed, CV Library, Total Jobs, and even just Google searching. I did go to 2 job fairs last year and they weren't really what I was expecting. I got told by a place that I'll mention later that they'll be giving you on-the-spot interviews and that I could potentially land a job on the same day. And it was just more or less a networking event, which was pretty disappointing. By the way, if any of you are interested, I will leave links to my LinkedIn profile and my portfolio in the description below. I would love to actually get feedback from you and see where else I could make improvements on my job seeking journey. So if you do have any comments, then feel free to leave them down below. A few months ago, due to the dire situation that I was in with money, I took a course to understand children and young people's mental health. I was referred by by the Job Center, which is actually a government scheme which is for job seekers, and you would even get a bit of allowance every month, which actually allowed me to survive. The course itself was government funded, and this led to me getting into contact with some teaching agencies. So through that, I was able to get a few days of work to earn a bit of money, and that gave me a bit of breathing space. And I just want to clarify that these were actually contracts, not part-time or full-time roles, because the last time I took a gig was from an agency was back in March, and that was only for like 3 days. I personally don't think I'll be doing any teaching roles now, because not only is the school year coming to an end, it's also not really what I want to do long term, and I really don't want to distract myself from anything else, because I've already wasted enough time. It's still a good thing to put on my resume though, because it's experience that I actually went through. Aside from job hunting, I've also had the opportunity of starting this YouTube channel, which has been a great journey so far. I've been learning more about video editing, I've been using different software, and I have to say it's been fun. It takes a lot of hours to make videos, but I hope it pays off one day. I've also been reading more books to help me try and fix my life up, to learn new perspectives that can help me with the way I think and proceed with things that I'm going through currently. When it comes to the benefits of being jobless, I guess it's nice being able to spend more time with my family. I know it won't last forever, so it's great to have it in abundance right now. I get the chance to help them with any work that needs to be done, whether that's running any errands, doing any work at home, pretty much any time of the day, and that just allows me to be there for them whenever they need me. I get time to focus on my fitness, which is something I have been working on for many years now, and it's actually changed my life for the better. It will actually be tough adjusting and making time for it once I do get a job. That's just something to consider later on down the line. And as mentioned before, I get time to work on my YouTube channel and anything else that, you know, piques my interest. If there's a new hobby I want to try, I do have time for that. My routine, well, let's just say I've been sleeping late for a while now, and it's something I'm constantly trying to fix. I wanted to ask any of you if you know of any way to just sleep 8 hours and get up earlier, otherwise I'm really gonna struggle once work starts. To wrap this video up, I hope I gave you an insight as to some of the challenges that someone faces when being jobless and unemployed full-time. These are just the challenges that I have faced, and my situation is unique, but it will of course be different for every person going through this. And I think it's really important in life, wherever possible, to try and look for the positives in the experiences that you go through. I mean, there will be exceptions to this, of course. I have been super lucky to have my family support me in my times of need, and I definitely would not be here without them. I can only be grateful to them for everything that I have. I am going to carry on applying to more jobs and continue to work on more projects in the short term, and I think that this might actually help me to get more interviews, and hopefully some job will accept me. And this is an ongoing journey, and I actually do plan to keep you all up to date with my progress. If you did find this video interesting, I would really appreciate it if you could like this video, share it, and subscribe to the channel. It would really help me out. Also, I would actually like to know your thoughts on this. Do you have any recommendations for me? Any would be appreciated. I would also be interested to know if any of you have been in or are jobless at the moment, and what you have done to improve your situation. Again, feel free to leave all of these comments down in the comment section below. One last thing, make the most of the time you have now and any opportunity that comes your way, provided it's reasonable and something you feel comfortable with, because they will give you a chance to grow. Each and every one of us is capable of achieving our dreams, so all we have to do is keep working hard and things will work out for all of us in the end. Good luck to you all.